And I have one for Alycia.
You're going to call me Felicia.
Felicia. Her name's Felicia. Bye, Felicia. If you could, hey, Felicia.
Hey, Felicia.
Alycia Debnam-Carey. If you could play any other Fear character, who would it be? This is from Talia Toranini in South Africa.
I think Chris.
Chris. I thought you were going to say Strand because I'm right here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that sucks.
No.
We didn't say anything. Wait. It would be Chris?
Yeah, I think
Why?
so. I mean, now you've pointed it out, you have obviously one of the great characters too.
I'm totally kidding. No, I'm saying me because I'm right here. I'm joking.
I'm
totally
serious. I really mean that. But
It's
I thought Chris because I think Chris's character is one of the hardest and really interesting. Mm-hmm. It's a difficult character, and I'm interested in how, you know, people had a very strong reaction when he started to, you know, slip down a bit of a rabbit hole, and mentally unstable, and you didn't know what he was going to do, and having lost so much very quickly, I think people had a very strong opinion that it was in his character in his nature to be like that. But I wonder if it's a lot of how everyone around him forced him sort of into that situation. I don't know, I just think there's so many interesting...
And his character plays with a lot of darkness, actually.
Yes.
He's going into the
but
dark.
innocence too. I think that there's a innate innocence and I mean, Lorenzo plays it so beautifully and wonderfully. But I do think it's one of my favorite characters. Yeah.
And then Strand.
And then Strand.
Well, I would want to play you, Alycia, just so you know. I just want you to know that.
Oh.
I mean, it's not only because you're sitting here either.
That's like everyone there. Hey, we've got a live question. Do you think anything changed between Strand's relationship with Alycia from the start of season 2 to now? Krzia from Poland.
I think so. I think that Strand was looking at Alycia just as a kid. She was sort of, she's just getting in the way. And, you know, and how his rules about children, about things like that. And it's like, and if you're going to contribute something, I want you to contribute, think about what you can contribute to it. This will not be a hand-holding situation. And then I think that actually, little by little, I just think the way the writers have been writing it, the way we've been playing it, is that I find more respect for this young woman, and I see how strong she is, and how more alike to her mother she is, and how, you know, how strong, and how this woman's coming into her own.
Yeah.
And I think that he feels that that's useful, and he can be of use to her in that way too.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you're one of the first, Strand's one of the first people to actually see Alycia, I think, as an equal, or start to see her as, you know, her own entity, which is not to be underestimated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Cool.
Well, should we read that one? Oh,
Yeah.
there's another one. Here we go, you guys. Is the second half of the season going to be darker? Arthur from the UK.
Hey, Arthur from the UK.
Hey, Arthur from the UK. You want to answer this? Go on.
I think, yes, it does get darker. It definitely does. Because we've been split up, we're having to interact with some new people that we haven't met yet. Just a little keep an eye out for. And I think also that there are some moments that each of our characters have to now kind of reflect on and deal with personally, and have kind of more of some moments on their own, which is when you're in isolation and solitude, that's when suddenly more darker moments come out. Yeah, we definitely play with some more darkness, for sure. For me, do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it. This is for Alycia. What was the audition process like to get the role as Alycia? That's from Caitlin from Atlanta, Georgia.
Thanks, Caitlin. My audition process was, I basically found out about it from my representatives, and then went up.
Was it a long process, or was it?
It was, actually no, it was surprisingly quicker than I expected. In fact, I think I was the first person cast, which is interesting. But I remember having a chemistry test with Frank and saw Cliff in the audition.
Chemistry test? Wait, what is a chemistry test?
You know, like a chemistry read.
I've never done a chemistry read.
Oh, so a chemistry read is where you...
They put you in a beaker and like pour something in the other.
They see what kind of pheromones you have. And
you're all smelling,
your
sniffing
kind of
each other.
composition questions.
Yeah.
You got a little too much H2O going on. It's basically when there are characters that are going to be interacting a lot or have a prominent role, they want to get a few of them together and see which actors kind of work off each other the best way. And you kind of get a feel for maybe what combination of actors you like best and whether they're kind of right for the part, I guess, ultimately.
So you did yours with Frank?
Yeah, I did mine with Frank, and he kept calling me in the audition, Alycia, and I thought, maybe just Frank's really, really method, because when I read the sides, the character was called Ashley, which I thought was really interesting.
Huh.
So I didn't know until way after the chemistry test that the name was actually Alycia.
Huh.
How interesting that.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, but yeah, it was cool. So I met Frank like really early on in the process. But we, I did an initial audition, and then you kind of go through the motions, which is maybe a callback, and then a chemistry test, and then a test in front of all the executives, which is incredibly nerve-wracking. I don't know if you did that, but
I didn't. It was
No.
strange. It was like you're saying. It didn't seem like it took a lot of time. It was like mine was a self-tape
right,
from home.
yeah,
And the next, I had an offer.
that's amazing.
And it was like only because
You were just perfect.
No, I was the
Just
only
perfection.
person I could find.
It's all right.
that's
You
why.
don't have to deny it.
They were like, well, I guess this guy.
Well, I guess this is all we have. Fine.